Many adults understand the risks of having unprotected sex, whether it be because they've experienced it themselves or they know someone who has experienced it. But for younger people and students in high school, this can be very tough because they don't have any real connection to people with STDs and may not understand the risks of having unprotected sex. Hi, my name is Nick Bush, and today I'll be discussing why I think that condoms should be free for students in high school. This was a study done by the Center for Disease Control, the CDC, and it was estimated that nearly 20 million new sexually transmitted infections occur every year in this country, and half of those are amongst people the age 15 to 24. So this goes to show that there is a problem among youth contracting STDs because of not having safe sex. There are many different STDs in the world. A lot of them cannot be seen or even known that they're there because they don't have any visual signs at all. This is very tough for high school students because they are taught about STDs, they're taught about herpes, they're taught about gonorrhea in their health class maybe, and they're taught about the signs, but they may not understand that these STDs might not show up for a while and might not be actually visually available or visually able to be seen for years to come unless you're tested. Which leads me to the fact that lots of students actually may not even go through having a STD check. And this could be for quite a few reasons. One could be because of their income. Some students just don't have their own personal income. They may not have a job, and they may rely on their parents' money as a means of living. So they may not be able to ask their parents, "Hi, can I have the money for an STD checkup?" And a lot of high schools don't provide free STD checkups, which is a problem. Providing these condoms could alleviate those problems and show students that there is a way for them to go out and have safe sex. Another reason for them to maybe not go out and get condoms is the fact that having condoms is embarrassing. And while they may not have the money from their own personal income to go buy them, even if they do, they could be embarrassed to go buy them because they're seen as buying a condoms, and it's been known as a kind of embarrassing thing. Sex is a bit taboo and a bit embarrassing for younger audiences these days. So if they were to have these condoms available for free, it could cut down on the embarrassing aspect of going out and buying a condom, especially for students who live in smaller communities where people know each other. It can be very embarrassing to have your parents' friends see you in the line of a supermarket buying condoms. It can really just be embarrassing for students. Not only this, but like I said earlier, in health classes it simply does not provide enough information to students. Sex education does not alleviate the fact that it's embarrassing to get condoms. And it also doesn't tell about the true importance of having them, especially when dealing with STDs that are not apparent or not that don't have any signs that they're there. Another problem, not just STDs with students using condoms, is that unplanned pregnancies happen a lot. In 2012, this is a study done by the Office of Adolescent Health. It shows that 29.4 births for every 1,000 females the age 15 to 19. And another way to say this was that 305,420 babies were born to females between the ages 15 to 19 during the year 2012. This shows that STDs aren't just a problem, but young pregnancies are also a problem, most of which are not planned. Raising a child can be very tough. It has lots of stress, and it can cost a lot of money. And if we can cut down on these unplanned teenage pregnancies, we can make the lives of our younger generation a lot better. They will have more education and more money to spend for when they finally do want to raise a child. And they'll be able to raise that child 10 times better than they could if they were raising it in high school, attempting to go to school and make money in order to better their lives. Having a stable education and a stable income can really help to raising a child, but having unplanned pregnancies in high school is not going to help the baby or the parents to succeed in life. Not just these STDs and babies, unplanned pregnancies, there's also another cost to having unprotected sex. This is also done by the Center for Disease Control, the CDC. It says that 20 million new infections per year will cost nearly $16 billion in direct medical costs. alone for students. Having that much money to pay for medical fees is not really feasible for students in high school, especially students that are working to go to college. College tuition fees are very expensive nowadays, and if a student has to pay for college and their living and their medical bills for, say, herpes or AIDS, this can set a student very far back, and it could cause them to have to quit school to work a low-paying job and not actually receive the education in order to get them to higher-paying, better jobs. And not only this, but there are other repercussions that come with not having unprotected sex. While it may be easier for them on the embarrassment of buying condoms, it doesn't help with their students should they contract an STD. This was a study done, or this was stated from Janelle Marie, who was the founder of the award-winning STD website, the STD Project. And she says that finding out you have an STD does seem to bring on or amplify underlying mental health issues, including severe stress and depression. This is a big problem for high school students because during that age you rely on your peers, how your peers view you. And so if you were to have your peers making fun of you for having an STD, it could really ruin your social life, and it could really bring on, for high school students, some severe depression and severe stress. Students are already under stress from homework, classes, the views of their parents, going to college, and the views of those around them. And if people now know that they have an STD or have a child that they didn't plan, it can really cause stress and change the way that students live their lives in high school, and it can really affect a younger person. There are many ways that you could place condoms into high schools and give them to students, but it would need to be a discreet way, and a way that students didn't feel nervous to acquire a condom. A couple ways might be that you could have a bowl out at school. You could place a little bowl that's just filled with condoms that says free, take one, and a student could walk by, pick it up, and have nothing else to say about it. And this could really increase students' confidence in acquiring these condoms because they're just sitting there and they're readily available and there's no questions about it. Just walk in. If you need one, you pick one up. Maybe you could also set up vending machines that cost no money. You just simply click the button, a condom drops out, you pick it up, and be on your way. And you could even include those condoms, if you wanted to, in a side section with some other snacks or school utilities, such as pencils, rulers, scantrons. So a student could walk up and act as if they're buying a pencil, reach down into the vending machine, pick up the condom, put it in their pocket, and walk away and have a nice day. No questions asked, no embarrassment, and now they can have protected sex without any of the other burdens of trying to acquire a condom. Some may say that providing condoms for students for free in high school would actually increase students' want and desires to have sex because it's promoting sexuality. And this is in fact completely false. A study done by the advocatesforyouth.org showed that between 1991 and 2004, the U.S. teen birth rate fell from 62 to 41 per 1,000 female teens, with which they attribute 75% of that to contraceptive use. This just goes to show that contraceptives do work, and that if we were to enable them, it could have a big effect on birth rates for younger females, and also STD rates. And this study was done without condoms being for free in high school. So imagine what the study would show had students been able to get a condom anytime they wanted. No cost, no embarrassment, no nothing. It could truly change our society and change the future of the younger students that are in high school right now. They'll have better lives, less stress, less depression, less money to send on medical bills, and all in all will just promote a better lifestyle should condoms be readily available. So I hope that you see with all the points that I presented that condoms being available for free in high school is a huge benefit and could greatly help the lives of teens in our country. Have a nice day, and thank you for listening.